Okay, so this is scene 4, and we call this OJ's arrest, and we put arrest in quotation marks. Yeah. Okay, so what's again, Jody? Since you're so good at walking us through these scenes, take us through scene 4 of OJ's arrest.
So scene 4 starts with feel like we see Robert Kardashian for the first time, and he's like panic stricken trying to get into OJ's house, and nobody's even paying attention to him. The cops are like, go away, you're just another person. And he sees across the driveway Howard Weissman, who I know him, and Howard is OJ's lawyer. So that's how they both get into the compound.
And let's say that for all you don't know, Kardashian is like he's a father of some kids or something like that. I think they're famous. That's why he's
a little bit famous. Which this is really kind of before all of that happened, but it's kind of interesting to see that this is clearly the thing that like booted them over the moon into stardom. But yes, this is before any of that happened. But everybody knows the Kardashians now. But this is really what kind of started. So then we have OJ with the police. Let's go around back, get away from the media. So they're being very conscious of his celebrityism, the people watching, and that they are not 100% sure yet. You can tell that they are very cautiously going down this road as just in case.
Okay, so it's funny. This goes back to scene 2. I see 2 different police here. Because the cops who arrest him, handcuff him, who they remind you of? Furman. Buy the book. Yay, you're a suspect. You're going to go buy the book. We're going to arrest you. But what happens?
They're the beat cops. They're the beat cops. They're in the uniform.
Yeah. But
detectives, your executives,
they're like,
different.
No. Yeah. The beat cops are like, well, obviously we arrest suspects. Obviously, right? And so they do it, and the detective is like, whoa, they are more politically sensitive. So again, you're seeing the 2 different worlds of the cops here, and so they do arrest him, but they uncuff him, and then you see OJ. This is interesting because in the prior scene, Gil Garcetti mentioned about how OJ had befriended many police. He was well known to the police, well known, and you can see that OJ is not resistant at all. I'm not going to talk. Where's my lawyer? He says, no, officers, I'll absolutely cooperate. And the officer's like, yeah, good. So it's interesting. OJ really is in that Brentwood philosophy or that Brentwood atmosphere. He's a part of it. And the cop's like, well, okay, come on, let's talk.
Well, I thought it was very interesting that we see another bit of OJ here. He's very cooperative. He's clearly, the relationship that he has with the cops has him be very comfortable, and he's cooperative. He wants to be helpful. So I think that's another layer of him. We're trying to get to know him because his lawyer there, Howard, does say you don't need to do this. Says that. But I do think what is interesting, and this might be what turns the tables here for the big picture detectives, is he sees OJ's hand wrapped, because obviously there's like a cut or something, and OJ looks down at it too, and they kind of connect eyes. It's like this unspoken, like, what is that? Like, what is happening here? But this is not the moment. I feel like I've seen a moment in every one of these scenes. I want to talk about the moment that resonated with me. Again, this is my natural behaviors coming out. But when OJ gets taken by the cops to behind the house, you have all the media trying to fight their way for a picture of OJ, whatever. And one guy with a camera takes off. And he goes into the bushes and he gets the shot of him in the handcuffs. OJ's the suspect. But this is what I took away. That one guy saw an opportunity, was incredibly innovative, took the initiative, and drove it home to get the results that he was looking for. One guy out of all of that, which, resonates a lot for me working in corporate America. You almost like cattle, like everybody just gets in line, goes wherever you're pushed to. And it's like, it is very hard to be that person that goes against the grain than everybody else. And that was my big takeaway from the scene, that this one guy was like, I want to see what's going on around that corner. And he made it happen.
Yep.
In a bush. Like,
So took the initiative and did it. And I guess that news station got the goods. Is that one guy's initiative on the ground. That's awesome. I
mean, did you kind of get anything from that? Did that resonate with you like it did with me?
Not really. I saw it, I didn't put personally, I expect that kind of initiative. I'm like, well, yeah, obviously you better do it. I expect people to do that. But that's not,
they don't. They don't.
Yeah. So that's a great point because my leadership style, I expect people to take the initiative and do that stuff. So I'm like, well, yeah, obviously he's going to do it, but they'll say he did it or not. It's not obvious because not everyone did it. But
he was the only one that did it.
The one thing that is starting to build up again, we're still in the beginning of this whole episode, but we've seen some things about OJ, and behaviorally speaking, there's certain things that come out. I won't say he's a talker, though. You will see that he's very affable, behaviorally speaking, he seems very non-confrontational. Very helpful, very likable, and that's really interesting because we're really gonna see that in the backup style later on. But again, what's happening is we're actually getting a taste of each of the characters, and already we're seeing who OJ is. The fact that he'll go and not claim, not shut up and let his lawyer talk for him. No, officer, I will absolutely cooperate, even though I'm not. I think what's clear so far is that he has not thought this through all the way. Of what he's done. I think it was more of an impulse because you're going to see later on that things are popping up and he just never considered.
Well, I think also part of that is, in the last scene we talked about how he had priors, but he got a slap on the wrist. He what did he do? Raise funds for Ronald McDonough House. So he's a celebrity. You don't get in trouble for things. And you just get away with stuff.
And he's got a history of getting away with it. So maybe that's in the back of his mind. I don't know. We're we're playing psychologists here. We got to be very careful. But what's his past history? He's gotten away with it. He didn't spend time in prison. Maybe he's thinking that he's good friends with the police. I don't know. But that could totally be a possibility.
Well, I think the behavioral part of this is he's not being cautious. He is really being, his extroversion, relationship building,
open, being very open.
Say too much, So I think it's the context of his life experiences of not really having consequences to what he's had to do. So therefore, he's very comfortable and his natural behaviors are coming out. He's still being very personable and like friends. Like, yeah, sure, fine, I'll go wherever because, we'll play tennis like Tuesday, So I think it all kind of ties together. We're not necessarily, trying to focus on the psychology, but how is it tying back to how his behaviors and what he's doing in the moment?
Yeah. Okay, so scene 4, that's a good scene. Let's move on to scene 5 now.